So a kindly neighbour gifted me these 4 seed potatoes. They're Swift, so they're first earlies, and as you can see they're well chitted. So it's only the 6th of March, but I'm going to actually get these sown today into pots so that they can start growing on and hopefully give me a little early crop of Swift potatoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into these pots. These are, how many litres? Maybe 10 litres? Does it say on them? It might say 15 litres on the bottom there. But they're obviously smaller than the 30 litre pots that most of us use when we're sowing potatoes in pots. So I'm going to, probably should just put 1 in there, but I'm going to pop 2 in each of these pots. I've got 2 of the same pot, and we'll see how they do. Worst case scenario is we get lots of little potato, smaller potatoes than we would have done if we just put 1 in each pot. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. So the compost in this wheelbarrow is just a general purpose compost, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to it some fish blood and bone and mix that through. Let's see if that happens to be under the camera. There we go. Okay, but to start off in the base of the pot, I actually have some of my own compost. So this is compost from my own compost bin, and it's got a lot of chicken poo in it, or obviously broken down chicken poo. So I'm going to put that in the base of each of the pots. If I can manage it, I think I'll just pour. So we've got that in the base, which is a good nutritious base for the potato. I'll maybe put another little handful, if I can get into it. Another little handful of fish blood and bone and mix that in. And then I will pop a couple of seed potatoes in here, and I'll just, hopefully you can see what I'm doing, I'll just pop them looking upwards with the chips upwards. Can you see that? With the chips upward, and then I'm going to top fill with this other compost that has, as I say, a little bit of fish blood and bone through it as well. The important thing when you're putting potatoes in pots is to acknowledge that the potatoes will grow above the seed potatoes. So that's why we can get away, we need to put them quite low in the pot so that the actual new potatoes will grow above that seed potato. So it gives it, plenty of room for these potatoes to grow. And the other thing is the roots are going to go down below the seed potato. So of course you want below the seed potato to have lots of lovely nutritious stuff for to feed the plants as they grow. So that's one done. I have pre-prepared my labels. Swift. And I'll do the other one in the same way. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put them in one of my grow houses because it's still quite early. This is March after all, beginning of March I should say. And it's still quite early for them to be out and about in the early spring weather. So I'll put them in the grow house and I'll let them grow on there for a few weeks before I then bring them out into the big bad world. So that's the first one of my potatoes sown. As I say, it's swift. There's 2 little seed potatoes in there and I'll keep you posted as to how they get on. So here inside the chicken play area, I've taken advantage of having a little bit of shelter and I have put some things out here. Let me show you what these are. These are some little potatoes. Now, hang on. Edith, I think probably would like you to not eat them. They need protection obviously from the chickens, but that tub is this is protecting them from the weather as well. And I had 4 little Duke of York potatoes and they had started to chit and I just put them in these small pots. Now I put them in these pots on the 13th of Feb with the idea that we'll grow them here now. Chickens. We'll grow them in these pots and then when they're bigger plants we will put them into their final place, which will be in 30-litre pots probably. So it's just a way of getting some potatoes started a little bit early. And because they're in these small pots, I was able to put the chitted potato into sort of damp compost and just leave it somewhere in the house. Leave it somewhere in the house to start growing. And then when we started getting the shoots, I actually brought them out here. And you can see they're all doing really well, this one in particular. So I brought them out here and I popped them under this just plastic tub by way of being a cloche. That's fine. So it's like a cloche and it's also going to protect the plants from the chickens because this is their play area. So yeah, they're doing quite well, really pleased. And it won't be long before I can pop them into larger pots.